Hi, and welcome back to It's Miracle Beauty. My name is Brandy, and I am a pan challenge review type channel. So I concentrate on using what I have versus buying more. I always give the disclaimer, it doesn't mean I will not buy more. It does not mean I will never have new makeup. In fact, I have a few new things I bought this year. Some of them are not new anymore because it's July. Other ones are just coming out now that I did purchase that I do plan to review. It's just been a really crazy hectic. I changed jobs in May and it was quite a bit of a promotion in a lot of ways. And so it's kind of occupied my time, plus balancing the kids and family and husband and all that. So eventually I get those up, but if they're late, they're late. I do it because I enjoy it, not because I need to get a million views, which wouldn't happen. But the point is that I do it because I love it. It's not always about timing. So if you've never been here before, this is my pan challenge this year. I do 3 videos, but I do the same intro on every single one because I do have an autoimmune disease. It's easier on me to have less of that. And also, to be quite honest, it makes editing everything easier. So in case you've never been here, my pan challenges are not all use them up completely. Some of my pan challenge items are with the goal to use completely, and I do have quite a few I use this month. However, the main goal is use. So it's working through my entire collection and using a little bit of everything. So I concentrate on using a certain number of times each month. So let's say I have a foundation, and that foundation may have 5, 7, 10 times that I use it that month. And as long as I hit that goal, I feel like a win. I personally have found this system to be the most successful system I've ever used. I've hit more pans this year, I've emptied more items, and I've went through more of my collection than ever before. But pan challenges are intensely personal, so it goes on your preferences, your collection or lack of collection, or if it's just a passion project for you. Sometimes your goals may be different. Maybe you want to complete that item 100%. So I totally get it. Just know that, you know, everybody does them a little bit different. This is how I do mine. The last thing I want to say is, as you watch these videos, try to keep in mind that I wear makeup almost every day of the entire month. In fact, in the month of June, I only miss one day, and in the month of May, I only miss one day. I enjoy wearing makeup. I love wearing makeup. So that's why you'll see some things get used relatively quickly, because if it's something I'm enjoying or it's something that I use often, then it will go pretty fast. So that all being said, I hope that you will like, share, subscribe, do all the fancy YouTube things, and let's get started on my pan challenge updates for my 3 different pans that I have. Okay, so let's dig into 23 and 23. First, we have the Fenty bronzer. This is in Into Sun. It does look like this. This one I have been just ticking away at. It's not getting a lot of progress, but the FB for Fenty Beauty is getting fainter and fainter, so I do foresee eventually we should hit something, but I'm leaving it in, and we'll go from there. The next one is the Fenty bronzer. Or no, not Fenty. That was the Fenty highlighter. And this is in Lightning, Dust, and Fire Crystal. I really love this, so I have no problem using it. And you can see I do have a pretty amazing dent in both sides. So that is staying in. Next is the Fenty Gloss Bomb. This is a little bit less than halfway. In case you're wondering, this went through the washer. That's why the silver's gone. So this went a little bit to halfway, and that also is staying in. That is one of my favorite gloss formulas. I have one in my purse, one in my car, one at work. So it definitely is one that I enjoy and I don't have a problem using. I do try to leave my pan challenge items at the house and not take them to work or anything with me, because typically they'll get left at work or left in my purse or whatever. Ooh, it is hot in here. I'm like trying to sponge off my face. It's hot today, and this room does not get circulation. In case you haven't been in one of my videos before, this is actually my walk-in closet. My husband built me a little area with, I have an Alex drawer here, and then I have a vanity, another set of shelves here, and then there's shelves all around the walls that have like my makeup, my Bath & Body Works, and my perfume and eyeshadow palettes. So it gets really hot in here because there's like no circulation. There is actually a vent here, but it doesn't seem to work. So unfortunately, this room gets the least amount of circulation. So when I film in the summer, it's hot. It's kind of cold in the winter though, so it's a nice toss up at the wrong time, but still. Next is the Kosas Concealer, and this one I have made a really good dent in. Again, these items have all been laying down, so it may not be visible, but I put the marks after letting them sit. This is one that I do enjoy using. It's a little bit yellow toned for me, but definitely something that I don't have a problem using. I enjoy, so I am going to keep that in the challenge. Next is the Cover FX face palette. This is one that was in an old BoxyCharm, and they were really cool. I actually bought 2 of them because I really liked the 3 middle shades. The 2 middle shades are the ones that I'm panning. That is a face setting powder or finishing powder and a highlighting type product. I use that in my inner corner usually, or my brow bone. But this is one that I actually had 2 of them originally. I bought another one on like Mercari or something because I loved it. Ended up giving it to my daughter because I kind of fell out of love with these products. I do still like the ones I'm panning, and that's why I'm only panning those items. Next is the Jaclyn Hill cover or Jaclyn Hill highlighter palette. This one is one that I think they sold it and then they sold out and they never stocked again, if I remember correctly. I really enjoy these. I am going to keep these till they're gone because I enjoy the products, but I do no longer support or purchase Jaclyn Hill anymore. So that one again is staying in. Next is Charlotte Tilbury Youth Glow. This is one that I've had, I think, for a little over a year. This is what it looks like normally. And then there's where I am at. I've had this a little over a year. I got it in a mystery box from Charlotte Tilbury sometime at the end of 2022, I believe. And I never used it. I kept trying it on my hand and I'd be like, well, that kind of feels nice, but I don't know. A lot of Charlotte Tilbury's complexion products do not work for me. So I kind of was like hem-hawing. This is fantastic. It does not have silicone and stuff in it, but it is smoothing. It feels good on the skin. And I've had no issue with using it. And I'm going to leave that in the challenge for now. Next is the Good Apple Foundation. My little pan is getting bigger and bigger. It is really cool to see the progress that's been happening in this. I really enjoy this foundation, especially in the warmer months. It's been absolutely fantastic. I enjoy it and I use it often. A lot of times I actually mix it either with the Luminous Silk Foundation, the Pat McGrath, or the Reboot Foundation, 3 other foundations that I'm panning. I find that it's easier for me to pan foundations when I actually use them in conjunction, because if I don't love a foundation, I can use a different type with it. It can kind of, help it out. So that was the Good Apple Foundation. Next is the NYX Marshmallow Primer. I really love this primer. Technically, I have a backup. I no longer buy backups unless it's something that's like discontinued, but that is where we're at. This one, I firmly believe, is a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas, the liquid silk canvas. Works the exact same. I've even done it in more half and half to work. Nobody could tell the difference. So they work and mimic each other a lot, and I do love it. That's staying in. Next is the Dominique Cosmetics Cream Blush. This is in the shade Soft Pink. I like this formula. We are getting a little pan going. I enjoy this formula. I often use it with my NARS cream blush. It works really well and looks really good. So I do enjoy that. Again, that is going to stay in. One that is going to leave is the Jouer Bronzer palette. This is in Sunlight and Suntan, and there's a cooler tone and a warmer tone. This works. It works fine. If it was my only bronzer, then I would have no problem using it. But when I have tons of really nice bronzers that I thoroughly enjoy, it's very tough to reach for this. And one of my rules in panning is, if I don't want to use it, it's not staying in the pan. I barely got through the number I needed to use this month because it just wasn't in my, it was something that I didn't enjoy using, so the urge just wasn't there. And when I move that out, I am going to move in one of my faithful products. I think I've owned 3 of these, if I'm not mistaken, in the past. This is the Smashbox Step-by-Step Contour Palette, and it does look like this. I typically only use that shade you see over there on my left, and it is a perfect contour shade for my skin tone. The only 2 I've ever found that are truly perfect is the KVD Big Palette, which I do own, and this one. I actually really love the Kevyn Aucoin one. It looks really good, but that is a warmer contour even then. These are truly cool. So that one is moving in. Another one that is staying is the Kaleidos palette. It does look like this. And actually, I need to confirm that. No, this is coming out. I'm sorry, I apologize. This one is rolling out, but this was the Kaleidos Escape Pod palette, and it does look like this. And I've gotten a ton of use. There's actually a pretty big dip in this color, and then there's big dips in this middle one up here. And it looks like there's kind of a dip starting in this one, but I wouldn't really call it a full dip. It's just kind of, you can see a lot of use. So you can tell that I've used it frequently, but it's not really been a regular, if you understand what I mean. So that one is moving out, and in its place, I'm actually going to move in the MAC. This is one of the Play blushes. This one is in Cheer Up. These are like a putty almost. They're really pretty, and they look super natural. They're especially really beautiful with like luminous foundation or tinted moisturizers, things like that. So that one is going to move in. in. Next is the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation. So I did move it over into this from this. If you look, there is just a little bit left in the bottom of that. I cannot get it out no matter what I do. So this is the Reboot Foundation. I ordered a compact off of Amazon, and I do use it from this. So it does look like this. And this is probably one of my favorite foundations I've used in a long time. I really enjoy it. This and Good Apple kind of surprised me because I've owned them since their release. Like I literally, since they came out, I've owned them, and I never really used them that much. And now that I'm forcing myself to, I enjoy them so much. So next we have, oh, you know what? I just realized I missed one up higher. This is the Pure Bronzing Act. This is a cocoa style bronzer. Let me move that in a little bit. It is got where it's dipping into the rings there. This is one that is far outdated. It is a 6-month shelf life. I've had it at least 3 years, maybe even 4, but I just would like to hit pan before I throw it away. It still smells good. It still works good. It's still one of my favorite bronzers I have ever used, but I do need to work it out of it. I think this month coming up in July, I'm going to assign like more days to that and less to the others, like do a bare minimum on the others. And then when I do my August break from panning, I think I am going to keep this in my rotation just to try to hit pan if I haven't yet. So next is an eyeliner, and this is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On, and this is in Deep End. This is probably one of the most favorite ones I've ever used. It's obviously quite a bit smaller, so this is a Color Pop. Color Pop typically is shorter than the Urban Decays are like this big. So I've obviously got it down to where it's definitely moving right along. So I'm definitely keeping that one in. We're going to keep rotating that. Next we have the KVD concealer. So I do have the Good Apple concealer and the Good Apple foundation in this. And if you look, there is breaks in the sides starting to happen. So we're definitely going through that, definitely using more of that, but we are going to keep that in. Next is the Rare Beauty Primer. This is in Radiant. This is an older mark, but if you look, it's really not that much over it. This is what it looks like. It's a very enjoyable primer, very smoothing, very glowy. I enjoy it, so I'm just trying to work through it since I paid for it. Next is one that I hate with all of my soul, and this is the Fenty lip mask. I am getting rid of this. I was trying to get my money's worth, but I am miserable every time I use it. It feels like I put Vaseline on my lips and more comes out than should come out. It just was a hot mess. So I am going to get rid of this, and in its place I am going to put the Natasha Denona. This is the My Dream Cheek Trio. This is a newer one from her, and it does have a cream blush highlighter and then a powder highlighter as well. This is a very good palette. I enjoy it very much. So it's definitely going to help me with that. So, and I just realized I forgot to grab one of the ones I'm actually panning. So I didn't put it over here yet. I wanted to grab it. So this is getting decluttered. Next is the Rare Beauty Concealer. This is another one that's starting to get down. Like if you look, we're starting to get signs of use. This is one that I never enjoyed. In fact, I've bought it twice technically. The first time I hated it, I returned it, did a video, it's actually on this channel somewhere. Hated it, did it with the foundation. And later on, somebody was using it near me, a girl at work. She kept talking about how creamy it was and how her wrinkles didn't show and this, that, and the other. So I started using it. I do enjoy this a lot. I do think it does absolutely crease, but my eyes have creased since I was in middle school. It doesn't really bother me, but it does make them look hydrated. And so I definitely enjoy that concealer immensely. Next is my Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Hollywood Flawless. This is gone. I literally can't get anything else out of it. I actually kind of pissed about this product because I put it in here. I didn't even have 10 uses before I could no longer get everything out because I had set 10 as my goal. And so but there's like product in there and you can't even get to it. So I did try rinsing it out, like putting just the smallest amount of water to see if like I could do it, but it is oil based. So of course that didn't work. So this one is going in the empties and I haven't decided if I'm going to repurchase that or not. I really enjoy the product. I actually enjoy it much more than I enjoy the e.l.f., but it's expensive. And if I can use e.l.f. and like the e.l.f., I feel like I can survive. It's a primer. For that, we are going to be moving in the Love Glow Cheek Palette by Natasha Denona. These all have cream products in them. Like this one has the Door. So I am trying to get the cream products before they go bad. So that is why you see a lot of stuff moving in Natasha Denona cheek palettes. Next is one that I'm super excited about. So this is the Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. This is a cream bronzer of sorts. and I hit pan in this month. I am so excited about that. I really enjoy this product. I could use this product every day and it would not bother me. But to hit pan in a high-end product in about 6 months for me is really good. So it is not, like if you look, it is not the deepest pan in the world. It's definitely a shallower one, but I never even did that in the past. So I'm really happy about that. So that is the Mario, and I just realized, I just want to make sure I didn't miss something. No, okay, I didn't. This is not supposed to be in here. Next is the NYX eyeliner in brown. This is deepest brown. I've only had to sharpen this once, so I've not made a ton of progress, but I have really been enjoying doing like the sharp brown next to my top liner. Even though my top liner might be black, it just creates this nice little smoky look that's not super fancy, but looks good. So I definitely enjoy that, and that is staying in. Another one that's staying in is the Luminous Silk Foundation. This is one that I had the big bottle previously and sold on Mercari because I just couldn't get it to work. Like, it looked really heavy no matter what I did. I was using too much. But now I find that I still don't like this on its own. Just all by itself, it doesn't even look heavy. I know that was from me using too much, but it doesn't always wear the best. So typically what I'll do is I'll put it with the Good Apple, or I'll put it with the Pat McGrath, and then typically it is just spotless. It is beautiful. That is it for my 23 and 23 pan challenge. If you like pan challenges, if you like reviews, or you like trying to attack my own consumerism, please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Bye, guys.